What is going on, Panther Nation, Pantherologists? Welcome to today's live stream. Welcome to the call-in show. Here's the Discord link. I see that Get Gooder is already in here. He's saying the Discord link is expired. Here's the Discord link if you want to join the Discord to connect with me on a personal level, and like as I said before, to just talk about the Carolina Panthers and stuff like that, and give me your thoughts in there as well. So we can always talk about stuff in there. You can always chat it up with me. That's just a good way to do so. This is a call-in show. So here's the StreamYard link. If you wanted to call in and give me your thoughts or have any questions or concerns about the Carolina Panthers, there's the Discord link. Use it. You're more than welcome to join. Anybody's more than welcome to join. You can definitely just come in, hop in, and chat with me. It's a good way to connect with you guys on a different level. That's why I did it. You know, that's why I made this show what it is today. For today's live stream, it's for you guys to come in and chat with me. All right, or get your opinions out there. All right, to other viewers and people that are joining. So this is a good way for you to connect. I do have some things to go over, but I'm leaving it up, kind of letting this be y'all show, Panther Nation, Carolina Panthers fans, Panther Nation, all of y'all to come in and join. All right. Also, today's live stream is brought to you by BetUSA.com. BetUSA.com. Check it out. Check it out. If you guys want to bet responsibly, remember that I have 125% bonus on BetUSA. If you use the link, you can get this special offer. And if you use promo code Pantherology, it'll also help you out as well. All right. So the link is down in the description of this as well. The Discord is obviously it's an old link, so I'll have to edit that. But I did put the new link in the chat, so it's something you can also use as well. All right. All right, let's get into some Panthers news while we're waiting for people to join. Right, I'm going to leave this StreamYard link in the chat. If you want to join, you're more than welcome to. In news, all right, we got some news and updates. Really, Akeem Ekwonu, franchise left tackle, hasn't been the most impressive this season, okay, in terms of performance. He's had some struggles. I'm going to remain confident. I know that I put out a short yesterday about his struggles, but am I like overreacting? No, I just feel like it is a concern a little bit, right? I believe he'll be a part of this offensive line. There's no question about that. Despite a few hiccups, I expect him to shine when the regular season come off. So I'm not too worried there. I think there's still a lot of hope for Ekwonu. All right. I kind of wanted to explain Mark McCall's release a little bit to you guys. From my understanding, I know a lot of y'all were surprised about Marquand McCall's release, who was expected to really start at nose tackle position in this 3-4 defense. Obviously, Coach Frank Wright came out, explained that it came down to a scheme fit. And obviously had to release somebody to bring in Troy Hill, but I believe McCall will find a spot on another team quickly. For the Panthers, it's about fitting their specific defensive scheme, right? So I know it left some of you guys and other fans wondering, and even myself, but what's really behind this move? But it's still kind of, to me, still remains a mystery as to what they were really trying to do here. So I kind of wanted to start off with that. I joined the Discord. Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. That's awesome. It's a good way to connect with me, man. On a almost kind of like a personal level, like you can just text me and I will receive it. So that's what the Discord's for you guys to chat with me. All right. Do want to let you know, guys, know right now there is going to be some changes coming to the channel. All right. There is going to be some changes coming to the channel. So I want y'all to be on the lookout for that. Some other sponsorships that are coming about right now. Manscaped has reached out to me, and so we will be teaming up with Manscaped soon. So I'll have some more information on that. All right. So another thing I wanted to go over was Matt Corral's progress. Matt Corral He's been back on the field as we've seen lately. His performance has been a bit up and down in the preseason, but no one expected him to be, I mean, a superstar right away. I didn't, whether he makes the team or not is still uncertain, especially with Bryce Young and veteran Andy Dalton in the mix. I still think they go into the season with three quarterbacks. I feel that Corral, he's been much better. He's in a much better position, especially when it comes to his increased comfort and working experience with coaches and stuff like that, who understand the game inside and out. So I expect him to still be here as a guy. We even got a Snoop in a Bryce Young jersey. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Bryce Young Snoop wearing a Bryce Young jersey. That was sick. That was sick. Some other things to talk about Bryce Young's preseason role. I mean, I wanted to kind of dive into that real quick in some recent news. Considering the struggles he's had, especially with the offensive line this preseason, some thought it might be wise to, obviously sit Bryce Young until the regular season against the Falcons. Obviously, our coaching staff and Frank Wright has different plans in that aspect. He intends to play Bryce Young and the offensive starters in the final preseason game. They want to get more reps, build some rhythm. I feel like Young has shown some promise and the coaching staff trusts their decision. So I'm going to trust the process here. And even if it makes taking a few hits in the preseason. So, there you have it. Some insights of what's happening with the Carolina Panthers as of right now. Stay tuned for some more updates and some other things that unfold as we go on. Guys, again, this is a call-in show. So if you want to call in, you can call in here, right? Or I can always join the Discord too and call in. Okay. You can call in through the Discord. You can always do that as well. There's a way to do that. Okay. All right. Some other things I wanted to talk about today. I kind of want to talk about the Carolina's defense. Okay. Just some insights on the defense, right? So let's talk about it. Okay. But I want to take a little bit. We witnessed two preseason games where the Carolina Panthers, it's essentially JP just slid into the server as well. Oh wow, get gooder. JP's in here. Nice. Nice. What's up, Pantherology? What's going on, man? Trap set player one. What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate everyone joining. Supernova's in here. Supernova Moore's in here. Get Gooders in here. Appreciate all y'all. Like I said, today is a call-in show. So if you want to join, you don't have to show your face. You don't have to. Okay. You don't have to. I can make sure your face is not shown if that's something you don't want. But this is a good way for you to come in. And connect with me, giving your thoughts, what your thoughts are on the Carolina Panthers right now, what you've seen, what questions you may have, what concerns you may have. I'm also here to do that and to chat it up with you guys. Trap set player one says Marquand McCall move was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't like it due to the fact of I felt like I'm wondering if this could end up being a situation like we've had in the past with like Gilmore and Reddick and other guys that I probably didn't mention in there right there, but it comes down to what they said. I mean, it's still a mystery to me, right? I mean, it still remains a mystery. I mean, they just believe that right now, it came down to a scheme fit. I was expecting Marquand McCall to start at nose tackle in this 3-4 defense that they're going to be running. So it just, for them, I think that McCall will find a spot quickly on an NFL team. I do. But it came down to a fitting to specifically how our defensive scheme is going to look as the season goes on. And they just felt that he didn't fit the look, but he was to me, he was the only guy that was a true nose tackle out of anybody on this team. And that was the kind of the question that I had is why are we releasing a guy who I felt was the true nose tackle of our this 3-4 defensive scheme? I don't think it's going to hurt us long term or into the going into the season. I don't see it being a catastrophic loss. Um, but we are. I was gonna break. I'm about to break down the defense here shortly, and talk about it. I didn't make a PowerPoint presentation just because really this was a call-in show, and I want y'all to come in and join the live stream and chat amongst yourselves, or get in the chat and we can talk about things that way. But it is a call-in show, so if you do want to call in, feel free to use this link right here. Okay, guys, it's right here in the chat, so feel free to do so. I fear our defense is that we still can't stop the run to the outside. Yeah, it's a struggle. I'm going to go ahead and break down this defense, though, okay? So the offense struggled in the first game, okay, but managed to score 19 points in the second, with most of it coming late. Despite these losses, that doesn't carry much significance, okay? So let's not overreact. Preseason's where we iron out kinks, okay? But this vanilla, the term vanilla has been used to really describe this game plan, play calling, playbook, both offense and defense, whatever you want to call it. But either way, it's been vanilla. Okay. That's what's been the word that's been thrown around. Okay. And this coaching staff seems content with giving players some practice without getting into detailed game planning. So far, this approach hasn't given us much fans excitement, in my opinion. And I know that some of y'all are like wondering as well, as to, you know, these kinds of things. I'm going to try to play some music while we, you know, talk here, give y'all some kind of music. But I think that when it comes, while we have much of the attention I feel like has gone on to the defense with obviously Bryce Young, but assessing the defense this year, I mean, the offense, sorry, a lot of attention has been on the offense because of Bryce, but assessing the defense after these early preseason games it's a little bit tricky to me, right? Because in the first preseason game, the New York Jets moved the ball effectively against us, okay? And even against our starting defense, even with the second string quarterback and the Giants, Daniel Jones, the next game, they were able to move the ball. So the biggest question here is the Panthers really as bad as it seems, or is this not even the same defense we'll see in the regular season, right? And so if we dive into this defensive system that the Panthers are going to be using with the new defensive coordinator, I'm going to call him Coach E, but Ejiro Evero, right? He comes from a coaching tree with Vic Fagin. I cannot pronounce the guy's last name. Vic Fangio. Thank you. Known for limiting big plays when it comes to zone coverage. All right. So there are going to be some tricky tactics when it comes down to it, right? There's going to be some tricky tactics that come down to it when it comes to this defense. I feel like the schemes mostly use this 3-4 base defense and often shift to sub packages, nickel personnel, swapping a linebacker for a defensive back. Now back to the main question is the preseason defense a glimpse of what we'll see in 2023? And in a short answer, I would say no. The preseason defense has been pretty basic and straightforward, far from what I think we will expect in the real games. All right. Now, here is one term to consider, and I would call it like a shell coverage. Okay. This is how some analysts have described it, okay? The preseason defense. It means that the back end of the defense is playing in its most basic form without distinguishing its tricks, distinguishing more than it needs to. So Everone is known for distinguishing coverages more than anyone else in the NFL. All right? So even though the preseason defense often looks like a basic – too high safety setup with open middle of the field coverage, it's all part of the disguise. Okay. So this confuses the opposing offense before the snap. All right. So when quarterbacks see the defensive setup, they feel comfortable attacking short and immediate routes. All right. So the Jets, the Giants, they exploited these areas. They know that Evero wouldn't add extra pressure. So to circle back to the original question, is the Panthers defense really as bad as it looks in the preseason? Okay. After what I just dissect, the preseason performance, to me, it's clear that this isn't the defense we'll see and when it comes down to the regular season. This unit has a potential to be much better. And considering during the preseason, the Panthers haven't used their full defensive playbook and have been missing key players like Birds, Justin Houston. Now, Derek Brown's return adds to the defensive line strength, right? Marquise Haynes should be valuable, a contributor once he's fully healthy, I think. And the linebackers have, shown speed and tenacity. I think the secondary featuring players like Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn, Dante Jackson, C.J. Henderson, Keith Taylor, then, new signing, Troy Hill. Their offers flexibility fits well with the potential of this defensive scheme. However, there are still concerns, especially regarding run defense. So this is getting into kind of your question here, Trap Set. And I see you're in the chat, brother. I'm going to get right to you here in a second, okay? It has shown promise, but durability concerns may require them to step up. So the release of the nose tackle Marquand McCall raised some questions, especially about the run defense, even though we got Raquan Williams, Taylor Stallworth has shown potential. But in conclusion, I feel like this preseason doesn't represent the true potential of our defense. I think the right pieces in place, this unit can be a driving force for teams successful, exceeding expectations. So I just don't feel like there's any need to panic. All right. All right. So we got our first caller in. Trap Set's in here. I'm going to let him in. Let's get it right into it. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's up,
How are you?
Panthology?
How are
you? Good, man. I'm good, man. I just want to come up here and give you your flowers first, man. You are really consistent, man. Your content's always great. It's on point. Even your reels and your shorts are on point, man. I really appreciate the content, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you coming in here and saying that. I'm trying.
Hey, man, I can see it, man. The consistency is great, man. But to our defense, man, I've got a few concerns with our defense.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, like I put, the running to the outside. It seems like we can't set the edge consistently and effectively. My second thing is depth. We're really one injury away from it being a disaster. It looks like. I mean, and I understand it's our first year with the new system. We don't have, as many pieces to fit that system. But really, I mean, Brian Burns goes down. I mean, what are we going to do?
Right.
Let's look at it. I mean, same thing. And we're just hoping that Justin Houston, works out. I mean, he could be, he could just be washed up. We don't know.
Right.
Also, the secondary, I like the Troy Hill pickup that we made. But still, I feel like that's another just plan B, just in case something goes wrong with Dante and JC, which inevitably we know one of them is going to be out. So those are my really two biggest concerns. Well, three, I guess. I do have another one too. I don't really see. I mean, I guess we're going to use Chin as that nickel. So I guess we're going to be more nickel than anything, and that kind of scares me. With not so much the passing game, but getting pressure, he's going to have to get exotic with the blitzes. He's just going to have to, because there's no way we're going to get pressure with just. I mean, you hope Brian Burns can get there, but I mean, I don't see really any consistent pressure coming just from Derek Brown and Burns.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Shy Toto. He's just not that guy. He's not the, he's not going to move the pile his own. He's going to take up space, but he's not going to collapse that pocket on his own.
Okay.
So it's definitely going to be a committee, defense by committee this year.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have to contribute something and be effective.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm not. I guess we haven't fully seen the scheme as well either. But I'm just not sure that Evero has all the pieces he really needs to be effective. That's my only thing about it.
Yeah, I see your concerns. I really do. The problem is we haven't seen it, right? We haven't seen the schemes. We haven't seen the full potential of this defense, much even the offense, right?
Right.
And obviously we've had concerns with the right guard, and then Icky, obviously from the offense standpoint, kind of having a slow start again. But to your concerns, my question to you is do you believe that with now that Troy Hill is in this situation, do you believe that he might be the guy that kind of takes kind of like that nickel? I'm not sure if he's a nickel though. I think he's more of an outside guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Um,
Um,
I think at his PFF numbers, he's kind of everywhere, but more nickel
Yeah, that's what
than
I was kinda
outside.
thinking too. That's what I was thinking too. So then that kinda might takes away from Jeremy Chin, where then Jeremy
Exactly.
Chin could get switched into the middle linebacker position and then move Frankie Louvu. See, this is my idea. This is if I'm running this defense and with the versatility that we have, now that we have Troy Hill, if I'm doing anything, I'm moving Frankie Louvu to the outside, on the opposite side of Burns. I'm moving Chin to the inside middle linebacker, leave Von Bell and Xavier Woods where they're at, and run the defense that way, because I feel like, with the whole, scheme of things, I feel like Chin is he's a great run defender and a pass
Right.
defender. So him being at middle makes sense.
Right.
So I think with maybe Frankie Louvu coming on the outside, that could be something that we might end up seeing later on. And maybe that's what they're going to do because of the Troy Hill signing. So then that takes into account that now that I think that's going to happen, unfortunately, if I'm putting I'm going to have to put Derek Brown in the middle. Like if you're
Right.
going to have to put Derek Brown, now McQuan's gone, and then you have to
Right.
either your defensive end is going to be Shy Tuttle, and probably I'm going to guess it's going to be Henry Anderson.
Right. So the thing about that is it leaves who out? Justin Houston. Where does
Yeah,
he fit in there?
I
Uh,
think that Houston's going to is more of. I think he's just more of a veteran guy. Now, how much does he have left in the tank? Can he prove that he's got that still that dog in him that we've seen over the years? But now at the age of 34, how much of that speed has he lost? How much of that
right.
power has he lost? That is my concern with him a little bit because of how old he is. But I think that yes, the biggest concern for me though is not the pass game, because we've seen what we've been able to do with the pass game. I'm glad that we brought Troy Hill in because of my biggest concerns defensively was not as much as the run game, but can Dante Jackson and JC Horn play 13, 14 games in the season?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I think that's everybody's fear. I mean, we all saw what happened last year in Tampa Bay. We don't
Yeah.
want that again. We can't
No,
have that again.
no, because Keith Taylor was getting absolutely destroyed by Mike Evans.
Geez, I don't even want to think about that again. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's the worst day of
Um,
his life.
No, I agree with you. I mean, trust me, your concerns are just the same as mine. Do I have the answers? No. I wish I did. I wish I had all the answers. I wish I could be everybody's therapist. But I think the biggest thing for us right now is to understand that we haven't seen the full extent of this defense. We haven't seen the full extent of this, but it's so-called vanilla shadow whatever playbook, that they haven't shown. And it is a concern for me that we haven't got to see that because of the preseason issues. Because I mean, think about it this way. The Ravens, even though they lost last night after how
Right.
many years of going undefeated in the preseason, whatever, part of me thinks though that they were running the same playbook that they're going to be running in the regular season because they've won so many games over the years, and they still won a lot of games. Like, look at it. I mean, they've made Lamar Jackson MVP. Lamar Jackson also, they had a winning record. They've made it to the playoffs, stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are we shadowing here? And another problem I have with it is because Laviska Chenault in the first preseason game overran that route, got
Right.
confused as to what was happening, and he looked at Bryce like it was his fault. So then there's been communications issues there on the offense. Same thing on the defense. Same thing with the defense. Von Bell's been vocal about it, saying, he's having to set guys up and make sure they're in the right positions because they're not. And so because they're not used to this vanilla playbook that they're so-called going. I mean, I'm guessing it's almost to me, it's like, okay, Evero, Frank Wright, Thomas Brown. Okay, let's sit down. All right, we're going to run these. I don't know. I mean, obviously, the playbook has, over probably hundreds of plays. So,
Right.
it's like, okay, well, let's run these 25 plays in this game. Let's run these 25 plays this game. And it's like, but then let's use this keyword for this audible. Let's use it's like, and then everybody's confused. It's the same thing like with Icky.
Right.
Icky got confused with the whole thing against when Thibodeau, he was trying to pass off like there was a tight end over there, but there was nobody there. And then Thibodeau comes around and gets Bryce. And then the next play though, Icky just got absolutely destroyed by him. And so it is a concern to me in that aspect, because then you're confusing guys.
Exactly. So my question is, do you really buy the vanilla thing? Is our playbook is it too much that they're springing on them at one time? Because I mean, it seems like a farce to me. I mean, the plays are the plays. They've had an entire camp to at least have a script, for, hey, this is what we're going to do our first drive. This is what we're going to do our second drive. And for there to be just so much miscommunication, and it's obvious miscommunication, like what is going on? What is really going on?
Right. I think another thing is that like the problem for me that I'm having too, though, is understanding like why do we need to be so secretive about it now? I mean, it's not going to make a difference even when we go into the regular season at some point, because they're going to see it anyway. So even if I guess because they want to go into the regular season, because of the first two games are division rivals, you don't want your division rivals knowing what you're doing, right? So part of me also thinks that. Part of me also wants to know exactly what is so great about this new playbook. What is it that is going to be so fascinating that is going to make us so much better due to that we need to hide it, and then going into the regular season really seeing it. So, and then I think it's confused. That's the thing that bothers me, because I think that's what's confusing. I don't think it's that these guys don't understand it. I think it's that they're just not using the whole thing that they're used to studying, right? Because when you go into training camp, they're running these schemes. They're running this whole playbook. They're understanding the calls and communication and the key words that they're using for certain play calls. So it's like, I think that's where the miscommunication is coming in, because they're only using certain plays, and then they get, like, I guess I'm wondering if they're giving them a playbook going into these preseasons, saying, hey, all right, study this playbook before the game, like, or throughout the week, right? We're just going to run this, So it is confusing to me. It's very confusing to me too, as well. It's a mystery to be had, and it's one that I don't think I'm going to be able to solve.
We really won't know until a couple of weeks into the season anyway, to see if is it a scheme thing or what is it? And then at that point, it'll be a controversy of who should be making the play calls. Should it be Thomas Brown or right? That's another thing. I mean, there's an obvious difference between second half offense and first half. I mean,
yeah, you could see the difference when Frank Wright was calling and then when Thomas Brown was calling.
Absolutely. So I mean, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. I know it's a defense show. I'm sorry, but
no, it's not a defensive show. I mean, we can talk. I mean, this is a show, like I said, this is the call-in show. This is where people can come in and just talk about whatever they want to talk about. It doesn't have to be just defense. I just wanted to go over a few news updates and then trying to talk about the defense, because I feel like that's been a concern. But my question to you is, because I am kind of interested since you're on here, and I'll let some other people get in here shortly, but my question to you is, because now that we saw it, and I feel like maybe we might have solved at least a concern, and how did you feel about Chandler Zavala's performance? Because I thought he looked the best so far at right guard.
He looked the best. Absolutely. I'm really not mad at it. I mean, his first time out there, I mean, it seemed like he could pretty much keep up better than Cade Mays. I mean, I had so much hope for Cade Mays. I'll be honest with you, man. Cade Mays, I thought was going to be our savior. He's going to be our guard of the future. But, I mean, it's only preseason, and it seems like there's a lot of confusion amongst all the offensive linemen. I mean, Icky looks like he's regressed back to NC State days. I mean, so I get it, but I like Zavala. I like the aggression that he plays with as well. You can tell there's a lot of effort in there. So I would be absolutely cool with taking a rider on him. Those first couple of weeks until we uh, get our guard back.
Yeah,
Uh,
Austin Corbett. Yeah, the problem is waiting for him to come back. And unfortunately, last week I was saying it because I got a news update that he's not going to get reevaluated for another month. So we've got
Jeez.
3 more weeks until he gets reevaluated to see where he's at. I mean, he's on the field right now, practice or not necessarily practicing, but
Walkthroughs.
he's doing exercises and stuff like that. You see it. And he's got a full blown, like leg thing over there, which is honestly, I don't think that's a good sign because that means that the severity might have been more than what we know.
Exactly. And it doesn't help that, I hate to call him out, but it also doesn't help that Taylor Moton isn't playing up to what we thought he should be.
Yeah, I think that with the concerns that we have, like I don't want to overreact because I think because it is preseason, right? I think that we all have the tendencies. I was on C3 Panthers podcast. Shout out to them, by the way. Awesome show.
Yeah.
They came on there and those boys, I mean, they're wilding out over there, just just yelling and everything, getting all concerned and stuff. And I get it. I understand that they're tired of it. The past 3 to 5 years have not been the best for us. But I think that we also need to understand that this is where we iron out our kinks, right? Like
Exactly.
this is where we just need to kind of. We're not going to really know where we stand until we get into the bye week. Usually you don't really know where your team stands after 6 weeks into. So we'll see, if we make it, if we, have a winning record going in the bye week, or we start out like I think we start out 2-4 going in the bye week, and then we kind of take off from there because of how easy our schedule is after that. And that's
Right.
one thing that we have some positivity to think about, like how easy our schedule is going forward. Now, I know that every game is not going to be the easiest. I'm not saying that, but there is promising games in our schedule.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I know you got some other people back there. Got one question for you.
Go ahead.
Hot take. The season just goes down in flames. We're 3-14, whatever. We just have a terrible season. How hot is the seat for Scott Fitterer?
I don't think it can be hot. And here's the reason why it can't be.
Okay.
Because think about it this way. Guess who? Remember when Tepper hired Matt Rule?
Right.
Who was calling the shots?
I mean, we know Herney, unfortunately. Godly.
Yeah. So Matt Rule was the whole time calling the shots. He was telling, draft these guys. Let's run this team. Let's run this. He was literally telling them who to get. And then finally, Scott Fitterer was able to do that last year. And he's kind of only really got one, underneath his belt 1 year, technically, of him being an actual GM. Now, this year is year 2. I would say let's give him through year 3. If year 3, which means next year, if we don't see any progression next year, so obviously going 20-year season 2024, then I would say he's in the hot seat. I think we give him this year because he has been doing everything I feel like he possibly can now, due to the fact of trying to fix things of a guy who's in Nebraska now. Right. Yeah. So that's where I would stand on that.
Gotcha. Hey, looking at Tepper's track record, man, every year something's going wrong. Somebody's been the fall guy.
Yeah. And I get it. So, but hey, Trav said, I really appreciate you joining. I really appreciate you coming on here, chatting it up with me and all that. We'll definitely do some more call-in shows, and I hope to see you there.
Yes, sir. Keep up the content, man.
I will, man. You keep pounding. All right.
Yeah. Keep pounding.
All right. Peace out. That was Trap Set, everyone. That was Trap Set. Appreciate him joining the live stream, showing the support. That is all I ask that y'all do, man. Just pounding that like button. Come in here. Join the live stream. This is the live stream. If you want to join, come in. Say what you got to say, just like Trap Set did. You're more than welcome to do so. All right. Marcos Cash comes in here. Oh, wait. There's some other comments I missed. Hold on. I'll get to you, Marcos. All right. Balance says, all right, I tell you what, I think based on what we've seen so far, if the whole line, I see a little pun there, Balance, doesn't get it together, Bryce Young gets sacked 55 times, Panthers win 5 and 6 games tops. Balance, sometimes you put things in perspective for me that makes sense. So I don't disagree with you. Hit that like button, Jay. Appreciate Jay coming in here from Black Panthers podcast. Guys, go check them out if you haven't already. Jay's in the chat. Love it. Love to see it. Again, guys, this is a call-in show, so feel free to use this link right here. If you want to join, you're more than welcome to. Here's the new Discord link as well. I'll have to update the new one. I didn't know that it was out of expiration. Apparently, I didn't know those links expired, so I guess they do. But here's the new Discord link. I'll definitely update that for you guys. Also, again, StreamYard link if you want to join. It's right there in the chat. All right, let me get to this comment here. Marcos Cash. I think Frank Wright is running. Yeah, I was saying that too. Jadarius is in here. What's up, Jadarius? Jadarius, come on in if you want to, man. I know you always got something to say. The StreamYard link's right there, brother, if you want to join. I think Frank Wright is running this vanilla playbook during the preseason because the start of the season with back-to-back division games doesn't want to take. I see that too. I see that too. But the problem is when you run these, the problem is for me is when you're running these vanilla playbooks, guys. And I was just talking when I was talking with Trap said the problem is you're confusing guys. Von Bell's been vocal about it, that these guys sometimes don't even know where to line up, or he's having to move these guys around and tell them where to position defensively. Von Bell's been even vocal about that. Another thing is Icky has even come out and said that, the communication, and Frank Wright's even said it too, that the communication on the offense as well has been confusing because there's key words that they use for certain plays, and then it kind of gets all screwed up. So that's what the problem is for me when it comes to this vanilla playbook. I need to see the actual playbook. And I don't know if it's like some miraculous playbook that we are going to be running or have, or the play calling or whatever it is, but there needs to be something else put in position. I need to see the first team guys get some reps. Obviously, we're going to see that in the next game against Detroit. How long are we going to see that? I don't know. I want to see them come out there and, I want to see them put on a performance like they did against Buffalo Bills in the preseason last year. I want to see something like that where there's not a vanilla play calling, there's actual play calling, and at least just do it for a quarter or a half. Okay. So I can at least see what we're actually going to be getting, at least to some extent. So, that's my concern. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, feel like I'm speaking some kind of facts, right? Yeah, I think I'm hoping that this next game we will see a whole half of our starters. That's this against the Lions. I don't think the Lions are going to be playing any of their starters. I don't think they've come out and said anything. There has been a release of the depth chart for the Carolina Panthers for this game, but I'm not going to go over that. I mean, it's nothing really big. That's not a big deal. Another thing is, I'm definitely going to do a 53-man roster projection coming out here soon. So I'm definitely going to have a live stream about that. We'll definitely go over that, roll that out. So I will predict. Actually, I probably should do that soon because after this preseason game, we're going to be seeing a lot of guys cut. So I probably will do that soon for you guys. Do my 53-man roster projection, and I'll tell you where everybody's going to be at, line up at, and all that as well. At least from my standpoint, I see things. So yeah, guys, today is a call-in show. If you're just joining, here's the StreamYard link. Feel free to join. Feel free to come in and tell me your concerns, whatever it is, whatever the case may be, wherever you may be calling, wherever you may be listening. I appreciate it. But if you do come in, this is the link, and you're more than welcome to do so. The offensive line needs those live action reps to build their chemistry. Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see more Chandler Zavala at the right guard. So far, he's been the best at the right guard position. I'd like to see him to continue to get more comfortable in that position, right? In this last game, he looked the best out of everybody. And it is a concern to me of that standpoint. And I'd like to see if maybe Icky can, I don't know, but have a little bit of a bounce back if these starters are starting. I think that's going to be the biggest key here of getting everybody on the same page, same level, same playbook, all of that, right? I think that's the biggest concern for me. So appreciate everyone joining. Holy crap, we got 11 likes in here. Wow, 7 people watching right now. That's good. That's good. I know this is probably like a weird time for people to come in and watch a live stream or join one. But this is the best time for me, unfortunately, guys. But I will be getting some short content out to you guys. I'll probably do my takeaways from the Giants game, make a short of that for you guys. Going to pop that out there real quick. And, going to bring some more NFL content. Most of my TikToks are NFL content. So if you want to join, if you want to follow me on TikTok, and you want to hear some of my NFL takes, go join the TikTok. It's right there. Same thing. If you want to follow me on any of those social medias as well, you can join me up there as well. You can use that. This is the Discord link. If you want to get, chat with me, this is a good way to text me on a, basically like a personal level without having me giving out my phone number, right? Because it's kind of weird if I would do that, right? But it's a good way to just connect with me on a personal level. All right. All right. Doesn't look like we got any more people in here. Doesn't look like, I thought we had some more people. I don't see anybody joining the link or the stream right now, which is fine. It's no big deal. I'll probably maybe go live later and we'll do some. I need to start doing some game film breakdown, but I think I might start doing that when the regular season comes around, because I'm still studying the X's and O's a little bit more. So I want to be able to do that and actually sound like I know what I'm talking about a little bit more. Be more comfortable with it, you know what I mean? So we'll definitely do some film breakdowns here soon. All right, let's see if there's any media going on before I hop off. Let's see if there's any media going on right now. Okay, sounds like Miles Sanders will be ready for the season opener. So that's good news. Let's see what else we got. Any other news out there right now? Doesn't look like there's any much Carolina Panthers news. Baker Mayfield did get week 1 starter. Baker Mayfield did get the week 1 starter. Interesting. All right. Doesn't look like there's much going on right now from the Carolina Panthers news standpoint. So no big deal. No big deal. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everyone joining. I'm going to hop off. Maybe I'll go live later. I'm going to get some other content out to you, though, guys, here shortly. And again, appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Follow me on any of those social media accounts. They're all the same thing. Feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the comment section here. This is the new Discord link, so use that. Obviously, the one that's down in the in this video or this live stream is not coming up, so, or not working. So, and also betusa.com, link is down in the description, promo code Pantherology. Go ahead and do so. Use that. All right. Get 125% bonus. So I say, why not? All right. I appreciate everyone. And as always, guys, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. Peace.